This is VH1's Top 50 Indian Songs, and right now we are here with the Koniac Net.
Yo. So guys, what do you all think about the evolution of music in India right now over the years?
I think it's come a long way, because just 4 or 5 years ago, I remember hardly anybody was listening to alternative and indie music, and I remember I was with like Gino Banks and Jero, and we used to put on shows just to sort of get bands like Radiohead and Weezer and Foo Fighters out there. Nobody used to really listen to it. But now, I mean, like these guys, most of the people that we know, everybody's listening to a lot of indie bands, and there's so many companies and like VH1 that are supporting indie artists, and we're getting a lot of support. And you have the VH1 awards, and so it's definitely progressed a tremendous amount in the past 4 years, especially.
So coming back to the point, why we are here right now is because your video for this time around is in the top 50.
Nice.
Wow. Can you tell me more about the video? Why did it turn out the way it turned out?
I don't know any of the actors in the video. It's basically when I first released One Last Monsoon, there was a guy in the UK who contacted me. He said that he heard the whole album and he loved the album and wanted to do a video. And from there, he just basically, him and his company, it's a UK company based in the United Kingdom, and they did the entire video, and the actors are all based also in the UK and whatnot, but they're all Indian actors. And yeah, and that's pretty much it.
Wow, this band is so indie, you don't even know who in the...
Yeah, I don't know the people at all. I don't know them at all. No, the company that did it was called Karakuri Productions. Yeah.
So did you have any concept of what the music video should look like?
Yeah, I
want to make a music video.
I did, because I wrote the song with an image. I had this whole image before I had even written the song about like someone standing in like this complete like black room with like almost like a disco ball sort of floor, and while the song was playing, each piece kept on like falling apart, and then and it sort of like represented like the whole breakdown of your personality, and then I sort of gave it to that person. I gave my idea to him, and he created a video based on that idea. So it basically talks about just one, like a fraction of the theme of the song.
Tell me more about the music scene when you guys were growing up, in your school and colleges. What was like?
My growing up period was during the 90s, and for me it was fantastic because I got to experience the best of best music. We had the Singapore MTV here in India. It was broadcasted from Singapore, and they played everything. I'm talking about bands like Toadies and Catherine Wheel and Screaming Trees, Deftones, and it was nice, but nobody knew about it over here. Even though it was being broadcasted for free over here in India, nobody really knew about it. So I got to experience all those shows like Headbangers Ball and Alternative Nation and 120 Minutes. So for me it was fantastic, man. It was like being in a candy store, of music, just pure beautiful music.
Yeah, we kind of got the last growth of it. So even we kind of grew up not with the same Singapore, but whatever. We were back then. All other music stations like on TV were playing good music, usually past 12, which was the time when we'd usually sit up and just watch that, and that's how we got into a lot of bands that we know right now. At least that's how I did.
Does your surroundings, the environment you grew up in, or even the city you're in, affect the kind of music you all make or listen to?
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, if you're surrounded with a lot of indie people who, people who like that kind of music, you tend to sort of write in that genre, and you don't, sort of go in a different direction. And I think I write better with these guys because we have all like very similar tastes in music, and we love what we do. We sit down, and there's no difference of opinion. As in, we do have a difference of opinion, but it's never a bad thing. And because of that, I guess we write well. But yeah, it definitely depends on the environment. I remember when I was in the States also, I was surrounded by a lot of people who like the same music, and it was much easier to write. It was much easier to sort of develop melodies that you want to be heard, And I find the same thing with these guys, writing with them.
So Adil and I have recently joined music school, and like these guys have come from America and like different places around the world where they're into jazz so much because that's what they grew up on, and they play a lot quieter, they play a lot mellow, and I think the city being so noisy and so loud, like that influences at least my style of playing and maybe our music as a whole. Like it's just a lot more loud, it's a lot more powerful than like the quietness that like these jazz guys have.
For me, every time I play with different people, it's a different kind of thing because I'm playing with other bands. So I kind of feed off what the other people are trying to think, or
the way they play.
Yeah, for me it's not really environment, it's more like state of mind. So like it depends on what mood I'm at, and then I'll write a song based on that. And based on the music I've been listening to for the past week. It's kind of like that.
So, what is the future plans for Koniac Net?
As long as these guys don't leave me, I think we have a lot of plans. I want to release a couple of singles, which we've kind of got down pretty much. We just have to record it and work on it a little bit more. And then my main goal, I mean, this is what I've had for the past 5 years, is to release this upcoming second album, which I've been really excited about. These guys have heard some of the songs, they're really excited about it too. These songs have been kind of sort of pre-written, sort of pre-written. But I didn't want to release it as my first album because it incorporates a lot of subgenres of rock. So there's a lot of like shoegaze and grunge and alternative and indie also and hard rock. So I released what I have released so far, or we've released what we've released so far, to get the fans sort of used to what we're trying to do. We're not trying to say, no, we only sound like this or we only sound like that. It's what we feel, and since all of us love so many different types of music, it's kind of hard for us to just sort of stick to one subgenre, you know? And that's what we want people to understand, our fans to understand. And I think so far, especially with the release of the EP, now everybody understands that we're not just like the slower indie. We also do make a lot of hard rock and a lot of grungy stuff. And the second album is going to be like the epitome of that.
That's the Koniac Net, and you guys go check out the next song on the countdown.
This time around.